If you've never seen Listings to Leads or how to add a new agent, please go ahead and tune in. We do ask that the ASCs do go ahead and onboard and offboard our agents. Some regions, the RSC starts the process, but it's always good for the ASC to know how to add agents. And I will go ahead and jump in real quick. I'm going to shut my email box off because I'm getting some pings and it is a little distracting. So here we go. And thanks for that, Crystal. That's one of my favorites, so I'm glad you enjoyed it too. As always, housekeeping, we will keep the everyone on mute. So if you have any questions, go ahead and unmute, type it in the chat box, and let us know how we can help. So unlike some of our other systems where a program like Account Tech will feed to a different system, Listings to Leads is not like that. It is a third-party vendor that the Schmidt family of companies provides complimentary to our agents. So we do have to add and subtract our agents from the platform. And we also have to help them get it set up so that they can have it connected with their Moxie Engage and start getting some of those great leads in, like JD and some of the other from the team hosted with us in August for our Bagging Lead series. So let's go ahead and jump in. Each dashboard may look a little different. I'm actually in Allie Gray's account out of our Benzie, Michigan office here in Northern Michigan. So this is what her landing page looks like. Some of your colors might look different. Mostly they've all transitioned over now to the menu being on the left side of the screen, but if you see it a little bit differently, not atypical. Listings to Leads is constantly, just like us, growing and changing and improving. So if you're lost, if you're not seeing what I'm seeing and you need some help, let us know. We can always set up a screen share with myself or an RSC or somebody from JD's team, and we can get you feeling good about the platform. So we're going to jump in and talk about agents. And over on the left-hand screen is our menu. So we do have some great tutorials here across the top. We have the great training provided by Listings to Leads here kind of in the middle. And then on the broker website, which is what I'm on, like I mentioned, for the Benzie office, we have our listing updates and our agent updates. Now you should have a login for your office. Each individual office has their own login. If you're newer and you don't know what it is, just reach out. We can give that to you. We try to keep the password the same across the company. Not super secure, I know. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Barb. But it is ease of use for us, both here to troubleshoot and also for JD and his team of dappers when it comes to our digital marketing. So we do try to keep that password the same, especially if we have some people leave or leave and we don't have that password. So we do try to keep it the same. I do keep a spreadsheet. Paul has it, Barb has it, Kelly has it. So if you have any question as to what your office's platform username is, just reach out. So over to the left here, we are on the dashboard and we're going to find the option that says agents. So go ahead and click on agents. And this is the Benzie office. One of the reasons why I picked it is because it's a little bit of a smaller office and it doesn't take as long to load in between pages. But as many agents that you have in your office should be on here. Like I mentioned, if they've left the company, we do manually have to remove them. So let's talk about that first because that's super easy. All you have to do if you immediately log in, you're like, wow, that person hasn't been here since the Reagan era, go ahead and click delete. All you have to do is click delete. It'll pop up, are you sure? Right? Because we accidentally click things all the time. So it does give us a secondary option to be like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. So click delete, confirm it's a delete, and they're gone. It's super simple to offboard in Listings to Leads. So let's talk about onboarding now. All you have to do to onboard is click this big green button right there in the middle-ish of your screen and click Add Agent. This will give you a see how to add agents to your account, learn more. Listings to Leads does great with tutorials built right into the platform. So if you go through this training, you go to jump in 2 weeks, you have a new agent, you can always click learn more and it'll take you through some of these steps. It also kind of gives you 1, 2, 3. Who doesn't love steps? I do. So that tutorial is there as well. And we do have a few caveats that we also add that we ask to be done in the Schmidt family of companies. So you can see you can drop the profile picture here. I always do that last. I'm not quite sure why, just my personal preference. So I'll leave that up to you on whether you want to do that first, last, or whenever. But you do fill out the name. I'm going to do amazing agent. And then here the company name will autofill from your profile. Now in the state of Michigan, Anytime that we advertise ourselves as brokers or agents or our properties for sale, we do have to have either the office phone number, not agent, office phone number, or the office address. It works a little bit differently in Florida. Ohio has the same rule. So the way that we get around that is we put the address right here in the company name. And no, this is not the address to the office. I just forgot to look it up, and we're going to just keep plugging along. So go ahead and put the full address in there. Not the right zip either, so don't jot this down. This is not the address. And then once that's in there, whether they're using single property websites or they have landing pages or they're using some social media marketing, that address will always be there. We don't have to worry about being outside of our criteria for our licensing. So go ahead and add that there. Credentials is we typically try to just do first name, last name. Amazing agent. When I type it, I like to do upper and lower, but it is not case sensitive when it comes to usernames. Passwords are case sensitive, usernames are not. Your password can be anything you want it to be, but I do encourage you know what it is, because when you see this little box clicked here, the agents will get an email that allows them to log in, but there's a second step here I'm going to show you that you're going to actually log in as the agent. So you want to make sure you know what the password is. I'm a big fan of Welcome One because we know we're going to change that and make it a super secure password later on. But for ease of use, and it's a fake agent, we're going to go with Welcome One. Unlike some sites, you do have to have them match, but unlike some other sites, they don't have super strict. You have to have an uppercase, you have to have a lowercase, you have to have a number, you have to have a symbol, you have to have a blood sample, a hair follicle. Listings to Leads is a lot easier entry than that. So you just type in whatever the password you want, but they do have to match, which is why that just turned red and told me I typed it wrong. From here, you want to put the agent's email address. Now, knowing how all of our systems tie together now with Moxie and Testimonial Tree and Dotloop or App Files and Listings to Leads, we're really trying to go to one email address for an agent, whether that's their CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, Paradise Sunstar Premier, USVI, whatever that might be, or if the agent's choosing to use Gmail, we try to keep it the same across all platforms. Technology super loves to talk to each other, but they have to have the right information. So we're just going to go with our naming parameter, knowing that we're in a Michigan office, amazing.agent@cbgreatlakes.com. The MLS email should be the same. Our listings flow currently through our Moxie feed to List Hub. It may change, but right now, as of today, our current state, that's how it works. So you do want to make sure it is the same as Moxie, although we do want it the same anyway so that our leads flow. So go ahead and just type it again. This information here can always be changed after the fact. You're just getting the agent in there. It can be changed after the fact. Phone number and website. And as you can see, as it's slightly grayed out, so maybe you can't see, but assure you I would not turn you wrong. It does actually show you the naming parameter of what it's looking like, what it's looking for. So it does want the whole thread. It wants the https://www.amazingagent.cbgreatlakes.com. And this is where I go ahead and put in my headshot. So I'm just going to grab one. We'll just grab one of my husband because it's readily available. Oh, and it's ginormous, but it resized it. Good to go. Once all that's in there, you want to click Add Agent. It's going to sit and spin and do its thing. And now it's added. And you can see it's right here. It says Amazing Agent. Essentially, you're done. But what we're going to do is now log out of the Office platform. Over to the lower left, I had to scroll. See how I was up here? Scroll down, click Sign Out. Log back in using that username and password. Again, the little tip, usernames are not case sensitive. Okay, apparently I typed it wrong again. Now, Listings to Leads is very helpful. Like I mentioned, there's tutorials, there's how-tos everywhere you go. When the agent first logs in, they're going to see this welcome sign. Do you want to make $250,000 in real estate? Well, yeah, we want our agents to be successful, right? So these tutorials come up. There's usually an X, there's usually a close. They can close them whenever they want. Or if you're on your broker platform and you're seeing those, feel free to exit out of them as you choose. If your agents log in and they're like, hey, I thought this was complimentary, it's asking me to pay, I don't know what's going on. Sometimes our agents get two accounts by accident. Sometimes they don't wait for that welcome password. They set up their own account. It's not under the Schmidt umbrella, so it is asking for payment. Just reach out. Typically, we just go to the Listings to Leads help desk, which is one of my favorite help desks. I don't know if Vince would ever see this call, but they're one of my favorite help desks. They can fix that for us. They'll put their accounts together because typically that happens when they have two accounts, and then they put it under the Schmidt umbrella so the agents aren't asked to be paid. The only thing the agents will ever pay for in Listings to Leads is actual social media postings. They should not be asked to pay to get to the platform. So again, reach out if they're being asked. So we're setting up a new agent. I set them up in our office platform. I logged out. I logged in as the amazing agent. And now we are going to go down here and go to profile. Again, I had to scroll a little bit, but we got there. Here again, all of these amazing things are going to come up. You can walk through the tutorial if you want, or you can exit out of it also. From here, all of the agent has these options. They can always go in and at any time change their appearance, add their social media links, whatever they want to do, change their headshot, put in different email addresses. If they work with an assistant and they want the assistant to get the tools, emails, they can put their assistant's email address into here. Always can update the phone number, anything that they choose. That MLS email, that's the one that has to be the same as the primary email address in Moxie. Moxie allows for a primary, a secondary, a sync, and then a backup. It needs to be that number one spot primary email address needs to match your MLS email here. That gets confusing, so if you have any questions on that and their listings aren't flowing, just reach out. The other thing that we ask for you to do here is go right here where it says CRM integration. We have all of these options. Ignore some of them, they're just the competition, but just ignore those. Go all the way down here where it says Moxie Works. This is where you can click Connect Moxie Works. Now what you have to do here is be logged in as that agent in Moxie Works. So if you're onboarding them as an RSC, or if you're an ASC in the office helping them connect this, from here you click Connect Moxie Works. We're gonna let that sit and spin. And because I'm not logged into my correct Moxie, it didn't match the email address, it's not going to do it. It said, oh, I missed it. It flew in and flew out. It gave me a little red error in that lower left. That's why if you're sitting down with your agents or you're currently logged in as them, this is how you can connect to Moxie Works. I always like to show you that though, because even though you do have to have agent access in Moxie, it's kind of lost because you want to be in as the agent, go to CRM integrations, come down to Moxie Works and click Connect Moxie Works. Your Moxie Works lead email address will then be that same email address that is the same as Moxie, the same as the MLS email. And then you want to click Save. Again, this is a second step, so you don't have to do this step to add the agent. The agent got added through those first steps. So as you can see, you can easily add an agent pretty quickly. You just add their name, their email address, their phone number, their website, and then they get the invitation from Listings to Leads. So now we're going to log out of the agent, sign out, again, way down lower left. We're going to log back in as the Benzonia office. Again, right here where it says agents, we're going to go ahead and find the amazing agent. And again, like I mentioned, delete. Are you sure you didn't accidentally click that? Yep, absolutely. Fake person, completely fake. Go ahead, delete, yes. And then you can see they're not in the list any longer. So if you're newer to us, if you've never been in your office's Listings to Leads portal, I highly encourage you to go ahead and log in. See who your agent list is, confirm if it's accurate. If you have a new agent that's not in there, go ahead and add them. And again, right here, add agent. Listen to or go through the tutorial if you want, read the steps, and then fill in the information and click Add Agent. If there's an agent that's in there that's no longer with us, go ahead and click that delete button and delete them. That is the information I had for you guys today. So I'm going to go ahead and wait our 8-second count and see if any questions come in. Again, feel free to go ahead and unmute. Some of these questions can be complicated, so sometimes unmuting is just easier.
Carrie, this is Angie. I have a question.
Yes.
If an agent leaves, Coldwell Banker and you delete them and then they come back, is there any conflict with adding them back in? Does Listings to Leads keep them in the background, or once they're deleted, are they all gone?
So if they were a user of Listings to Leads and they possibly have leads still in there, we do want to reactivate them with the support desk, support@listings2leads.com, because that historical data should come back to us. If they didn't really use it, left and came back, no need to do that. You can go ahead and just add them new.
Okay, it's Jen McCauley, Jen Taylor, DBA.
Yeah. I would
Jen McCauley.
I would go ahead and add her as new.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That was one of my questions. I wasn't sure. And she wasn't interested in it in the beginning when she first came back, but we just talked about it again. So now she wants to do it. I was showing it to her. So she's on board with it. So
awesome. Love it.
Thanks. I wasn't sure. Appreciate it.
Good question. And that kind of brings another point up. So thank you, Angie. Sometimes our agents switch offices. If they're switching from one Schmidt office to another Schmidt office, please reach out first. Don't delete them and re-add them. The support team can move them for us. So they go from the first office's platform to the second, and it keeps all their stuff with them. So if you have agents moving offices, just reach out to support@listings2leads.com. They can do that for us. I do believe if you go to the left here and scroll down, support right here. You can fill this out. You can call the phone number if you want. Like I said, it's one of the most user-friendly help desks we deal with. So again, if it's an agent coming back and they had data, go ahead and reach out. If they're moving offices, go ahead and reach out. Of course, you can always come to me or Barb or Paul as well, and we can assist as well.
Carrie, this is Julie. When an agent leaves the company, who terminates them from Moxie at that point? Does it flow through Dash like the rest? When we terminate them in our accounting program?
No. So the RSCs should be terminating anywhere outside of the Amelia Group and C21. The RSCs should be terminating out of Moxie. They are each region's a little different, so the RSCs will let the ASCs know if they want to term them in the Listings to Leads, but it all has to be done manually. Now, if you're Debbie with Amelia Group, welcome if you're on the call, or if you're Michelle with C21, once those are terminated in Account Tech, it feeds Dash, and we'll terminate them in Moxie, but they still need to be manually removed from Listings to Leads. And stay tuned, the rest of the company, Coldwell Banker, as soon as we're on the Realogy platform with Moxie, you'll operate the same way too. They'll be removed from Account Tech, it'll feed to Dash, it'll feed to Moxie, still have to manually remove from Listings to Leads, but so we are moving in that direction.
Carrie, that leads to my next question. I came in a few minutes late on your call when you're right at the email address situation. Going forward, you had mentioned that you want them, that they should be using either, basically a company email address. Should that be the same email address that we put in Account Tech then also?
Yeah, a good question. In order for our systems to operate the way that they were intended, by much smarter people than me, the people that create the programs and the APIs, we do want the same address. It just works better. The systems talk to each other with that email address. We know we have other options for display emails and all that, but our main primary email addresses in Account Tech, Moxie, and Listings to Leads should all be the same, and that same email should be what we use in .loop and app files. Good question. Anything else? All right, great. Well, I promise you this time it recorded. So this will go up in our playlist for first and third at 3 on Schmidt Video Classroom. To Angie's point, we had an agent come back. There's a lot in the transition, right? Listings to Leads wasn't on her radar. She's excited about it now. Send them to Schmidt Video Classroom. We have our amazing Bagging Leads playlist down there, 5 unique sessions that JD and Lucas and I think somebody else hosted one, but there's really great content how agents can get leads going today using Listings to Leads, spending just a few dollars on social media marketing, and then they will have leads that they can then put into their lead generation. So thanks you guys so much for joining today. I truly appreciate it. Join me tomorrow on Blue Sync. The email had a wrong topic, so it's a little bit of a bait and switch, but I promise you that topic will be next week, hosted by Barb Herrick. Tomorrow we are discussing Dash and our teams and what that means for their awards. I know it seems early, but October starts our blackout date for our teams to make switches. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow in Blue Sync. So thanks so much for your time today. As always, email, call. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.